Hey, good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad you could be with me this morning, Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. Here at Forex Smart Trade, our mission is to help you become the best version of yourself. And we do that by teaching you how to currency trade with our proprietary trading indicator, which is very accurate. We have a dozen different signals. In this session, I focus on one called the 10-point trade principally. And we will go through various currency pairs and see if we see a setup and take the trade. So with that, let us get started with listening to this guy.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
All right. One of the great things about our program is that we do these live trade sessions. When you are a member section is down here in green. We do a trade in the morning at 10 a.m., which is usually a scalp trade. We do a trade in the evening at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is typically a longer term trade. We've got additional paid sessions at 8 p.m. We've got continuous training in addition to the one-on-one training that you have Saturday and Wednesday evenings. When you are in the light program, you get access to what's in the yellow up above, which is we are here this morning in a couple hours or 3 hours. There'll be an intro to coaching session. So you get to make your own evaluation. You get to learn a little bit because you're watching an experienced trader trade, and you can pick up information from him. And then two, you get to see for yourself just how accurate the tools are. Somebody will find a trade, take it, and then you're able to kind of copy the trade. I trade off of a trade schedule, and basically before I start, I make sure my green charts in MetaTrader 4 are on and working, which I've done before we come on. Typically, at the end of every day, I want to review the trades that didn't work as I thought, the bad trades, and figure out why I did wrong or what I did wrong, and how to avoid that in the future. And the better I am at doing that, the better my accuracy rate is. I trade a little over an 80% accuracy rate. Yesterday we found a setup. We ended up not taking it because the spread was still so high. I did go back and take a look this morning. We would have hit that trade. I think we were right around. We were right around in here when we were looking at it, and you can see it jumped up. Actually, we were going to take maybe 12 pips on it. It's gone well over 12 pips. So the signal was good. We didn't take the trade for other reasons. As we are technical traders, we still, which means we're trading based on the price action. We need to know what the news is that might impact currency pairs so that we can trade around it. Our indicators are are good at picking up the price action and the turns, but news also impacts it. So what we do is we go to forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com breaks news down into 3 categories. Yellow is low impact. We don't worry about those. Orange is medium impact. I generally don't worry about those. And red is high impact. We do worry about those. And this morning, the next upcoming announcement is at 10 a.m., which is 3.5 hours from now, on job openings. And then tonight on the New Zealand dollar at 6:45. So I usually like to be out of a trade 2 hours before this news impacts. So we'll see if we have something that we think we can get out of it in the next hour and a half. We'll consider it, but we may stay away from the U.S. dollar. So with that, let us go and take a look at our charts. For this trade, I trade primarily off of a 1-hour chart, and this chart is in your standard charts, the standard layouts. It's called the Light 6 Major. And I call it the composite chart because it's showing us 6 different currency pairs all on a 1-hour candle. I start with the middle part of the chart, and I am looking, and this middle part of the chart is called the majors and minors. The red and green line is the major indicator. The black and gray line is the minor indicator. And I am looking for situations where these lines are either below the red line, which is the oversold line and pointing up, or above the blue line, which is the overbought line and moving down. We are, so here on the Australian USD, we are oversold going down. Not to say that you can't make a trade here, but I prefer not to. I want to catch it when it's at one end and then ride it through the other end. So I'm going to pass here. Euro USD, we're in the middle of the channel. I usually, again, I want to catch it down here and ride it up. So I'm going to pass. Pound USD, again, we're midway through the channel, so I'm going to pass. USD Canadian, I am overbought, but the lines are still going up. I want to catch it when the lines are going down. USD Swiss franc, oversold going down. USD yen, oversold going down. Today's a bank holiday in Japan, so we're not going to trade the yen because the trading activity will be low. For those of you who are unaware, I was just reading. I've been trading 3 years, and this is, this 105, 104 is about the lowest I've seen the Euro USD. And in fact, it is at a 20-year, this is a 20-year low for it. Hasn't been at this spot for 20 years. Previous to that, it was around 108, 107. So I guess I would have to go back and look. I'm guessing when the euro first came out, the dollar was stronger than it, and then the euro became a stronger currency than the dollar, and it's approaching 1-to-1, very close to 1-to-1 now. So nothing off of this chart. I have cloned this chart. You can clone the charts and saved it under a new name and put different currency pairs in. So the second set is non-US based pairs. Again, we're starting in the middle. I don't need to look at the top or the bottom until I see the first part of the setup, which is out of the majors and minors. So euro pound, just approaching overbought. Australian dollar, yen, oversold going down. Euro Canadian dollar, overbought going up. Australian New Zealand dollar, we're in the middle of the channel, but I probably wouldn't trade this because this is non-prime time for both of those currencies. Pound yen, we're midway or more than midway through the channel, approaching oversold. Our euro Australian dollar, overbought going up. So nothing on this second pair. Let us go to the third pair. Come on. Yeah, we'll do a refresh. There we go. Canadian yen, oversold going down. Euro New Zealand dollar, overbought going up. So you can see this initial part of the analysis is it's simple. I'm going through a checklist. I'm seeing what's there and what's not. Euro or pound New Zealand dollar, nothing. New Zealand dollar yen, oversold going down. New Zealand dollar USD, oversold going down. Euro Swiss franc, approaching oversold and going down. So let's go to the next pair. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, oversold going down. Swiss franc yen approaching overbought, not quite there yet. Mixed signal here on the euro yen. The majors going kind of, well, I guess they're both kind of going sideways. Australian or pound Australian dollar going up. New Zealand Swiss franc going down, oversold going down, and Canadian Swiss franc oversold going down. So we just did 16 pairs and didn't see a good setup on any of them. So one of the things you have to learn to be a good trader is you have to take what the market's giving. So if there's nothing there, don't take a trade. So what I want to do here is it's still a little early, but we'll see if there's a setup using a different signal. The second signal is called the thick orange line signal, and we do it when there's less than 5 minutes left in the top of the hour off of the 1 hour candle. Right now we have 15 minutes left in the top of the hour. And what we're looking for are situations where this number is 0 or 1 or within 1 point of either end. So 0.5 is within 1 point of 0. You can see it's been at 0 for the last 2 hours. Last hour was at 0, and this hour it's at 0. When I see this, when this is at 0, it is telling me that it doesn't believe, the thick orange line doesn't think there's any more down left in the movement. If there's no more down left in the movement, it is a good time to buy. However, we want to have that. We're looking for that high accuracy rate. And the way we get that high accuracy rate is by not just relying on one piece of information to take the trade. So I am going to look to my majors and minors and say, is it supporting me that there's no more down in the movement? And to see that there's no more down in the movement, I want to see all four of these lines well below the oversold line. And we basically have that. I guess I'd like to see the red line just a little bit more, a little further down, but this is pretty good. And usually I like to see the line having crossed, like having gone from overbought to oversold versus a situation where the line has been hanging out down here for a while and is well below the red, but it's been below the red for multiple candles. So we have this. So we will, when it gets a little closer, this is a nice setup. This setup doesn't require any additional analysis. It's good for 5 pips. The trade's accurate about 90% of the time. So we've got a AUD USD, and we would expect it to close within an hour of taking it. So we're not going to run into that news item coming up. But given the movement we're starting to see now, I'm almost even thinking the news, whatever that news is that's coming out, is starting to leak, because this is kind of a good move here. So we have a sell on the AUD USD. So now I'm just going to keep going through and see if we see any other trades. But again, it's a little too early. I want to take it when it's closer to the top of the hour. And then what happens is when the candle switches over to the next candle, there's almost like a little snap, and we'll get that 5 pips out of it. Euro USD is at 6.9. That's not close enough. The pound USD is at 1.4. Not close enough. USD CAD 7.4, not close enough. USD CHF 0.2, so that's within 0 to 1. And these lines are pretty good. They're well below the red. So we also have USD. Interesting here. USD Swiss Franc. What makes this interesting? Here the dollar is on the front end of the pair, and here the dollar is on the back end of the pair. So I would expect this to be overbought and coming down. This is telling me that the dollar is doing opposite things here, but we're seeing the same signal. I want to think about that while we continue to look for other things. I guess of the two, I probably like the AUD USD a little bit better because the candle is all the way down, whereas this candle's already started to pull back. I want to catch that pullback on this candle. 1.1 isn't close enough, so let's go to the next group. All right, so we have the 10, and then I'm looking for the support from my majors and minors. Now notice the difference here. The red is just touching the blue. I want the red to be kind of up where the green is. So this isn't quite ripe enough yet for me. This still has a little bit more up in the movement. I want to catch it when there's basically no more up. It's going to turn before it turns. 0.75. Again, that's within one, and it's been at zero or close to zero for 2 hours now. I would like to see this a little bit more. I'd like to see the red line down a little further. We are just, if we go back to the first one we were taking a look at, this is probably as little as I like it. I like to even see it a little bit more than this, but this, where the red line is here, is more than where the red line is here. A little bit more. It's close, but the other one's a little bit more. So I don't like this one enough. I want to see the red line a little further down. 0.95, yes, on Euro Canadian, but again, my lines aren't high enough. 0.31 or 0.43, my lines are still in the channel, so no. 0, yes, but my red line is just touching. It's not far enough down, so I'm going to pass. 10. Wow. And we've been up here for 3 hours. 1, 2, 3. This is borderline. I like to see it up a little bit more. And I actually like to see it with a little more steepness in the lines. But let's write this one down. So we've got a Euro AUD sell. Euro AUD sell. Let's see what else we have. Uh, 1.9 isn't close enough. 5 isn't close enough. 0.93, that's within one, but I'm in the middle of the channel. I'm not oversold. 0.6 is not close enough. Let's go to 4. Zero, yes, but my red line is just touching the oversold line, so it's not deep enough. No on the 7.5, no on the 4.2, no on the 5.6, no on the 5.5. Yes on the 0. Yes on the 0. We've been at 0 2 hours, and this line is pretty good. This line is pretty good. So that is the Canadian Swiss franc. Buy. I want to figure out which one gives me the which one of the three that we just looked at, which two give me the best chance? Because I don't like to have more than 2 open trades at a time. So let's see here. So we got this one. Let's go back and look at the Euro USD. See how this is pulled back a little bit? This isn't quite as far down as it was when we first looked at it. So I actually don't like this because it's not down far enough. So we're going to pass on him. And then we had the USD Swiss franc. USD Swiss franc. I'm just thinking about it as I'm looking at it. You know what? I'm gonna stay away from this because we've got conflicting signals here. We've got one where we've got two sell signals. When one should be a sell and one should be a buy. When the U.S. is in the front, that should be a buy. If this one's a sell, this one should be a buy. So I am just going to stay away from it. And let's go to the next one, which was Euro AUD. And I don't like this one either. This isn't high enough for me. I also like to see the line steeper to get that, so that when it comes back, it'll come back. This is kind of, when it's sloped like this, it's going up slower. So I want to see this like higher up. So let's go back to the last one we had, which was the CAD CHF. And see if that one is still good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a buy on the CAD CHF for 5 pips. So I'm going to pull my MetaTrader 4 over. This is a demo account. CAD CHF. It hasn't been something I've traded, so I'm going to go to File, New Chart, and I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to guess it's going to be in this third grouping here. So US or CAD CHF right here. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go back to the 1 hour chart. Oh, and we've got a large spread here. We've got a 2 pip spread. The 2 pip spread, normally it's going to be like, say, a 4-point spread. So a pip is this 4th digit here. A point is the 5th digit. So if there's 2 pips between the spread, I'm giving up 40% of the trade to the broker to cover the spread. That's kind of a lot. And in fact, I don't want to do it. I will sometimes do it on that Euro USD trade that I send out in the evening. Open, the candle just switched. But this is too much here. So when I'm going for a 10 pip trade, I'll sometimes give up the 2 pips to get the 10 pips. But to give up 2 pips to get 5 pips isn't worth it. Let's just go back and take a look at so here's where we're at. Ideally, this number will jump by 1. So from 0.2. So we're looking at last hour. I know we're looking at last hour because we've got the chevrons here. So I'm going to click the chevron to go to current. And it changed by 2.5. So it's a good signal. But in terms of kind of risk and money management, I don't want to take that trade. I don't want to take I don't want to give up 2 pips to make 5 pips. To me, it's not worth it. Let's see if there's any questions. So we did see a trade as we did last night, but the spread was too large to take. The spread was too large to take for a scalp trade. Let's see what we got. Already won on AUD, won before the top of the hour. Well, that's good news. All right, gang, I am sorry we didn't find a trade. I really want to give you guys a good trade when we do this every time, and but I want trades that win, that are going to make you money. So we didn't see one today. The entire team is committed to making you a good trader. If you have questions, go to the person you're working with, or you can schedule time with me. Just go to the Forex Smart Trade homepage, go to schedule, and you can book time with me if you've got questions. But thanks so much for being here, and we will see you again Thursday morning. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.